Now we're back. Okay. So that was a little interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. We have a lot to learn. Yeah, technical difficulties, folks. We still don't know the ins and outs of our recording programs and softwares.
Yeah.
And it's been, what, like 13 episodes?
I think it's almost been like 20 if you ask me.
It's always been 20. Yeah, we kind of found you know, uh, a system to work with. Like, we record our own audio and our own programs, and then we combine them afterwards.
Yeah.
So that method is true and solid. We'll stick for that with that for a
Yep.
while until we figure out how to be innovative. And we're gonna have to soon because we're taking up a lot of memory, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah. So we left off about movies, right? How much they're
Yeah.
making, how Disney is dominating, and just how crazy this weekend was in respect to Endgame.
Seriously, man, dude, Disney is the alpha of entertainment industry.
With the Alpha. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Jason Capital better get on that shit.
Yeah. Oh
I
god.
mean,
I think you
they
know what
had
it is.
this.
I think they know how
Oh
to
yeah.
tell stories in such a beautiful way. They know
Yeah.
what a good storyline really needs. The conflict, the proper amount of conflict, how to get. You have your supporting characters. I feel like they almost have like templates. And then they just have to mess around with a few different things. Where okay, we have the main character, we got the conflict, we got these basic templates here. This basic template will
Yeah.
work across the field with most movies, and we just have to apply different characters and different themes to them, right? So, uh, there are basic storyline, problems that characters go through. So, for example, typically it's, for example, let's take The Lion King, right? The character believes a lie, at least in this case, about himself, and runs away from a specific problem, and literally runs away from home, and he is denying responsibility, and his friends are basically telling him, "Akuna Matata, man! Like you just want to live your life and do whatever you want, no responsibility."
Hakuna Matata.
And so he's running away from his responsibility. He's supposed to be the king. He has it in him to be the king. He's just running away from his responsibilities. And he comes back and he takes over. And there are so many subliminal messages especially in The Lion King, right? And if you really dissect these Disney movies, you can find so many themes about like masculinity and things like that, like The Lion King, right? For example, if we talk about like the four masculine archetypes, like king, warrior, magician, lover, king, right? The Lion King, and what does it take to be a true king, and that sort of thing. But I think these subliminal messages, the characters, they're so lovable, and they go through such a hard time, a terrible conflict that can, I guess, relate to the audience, And then there's songs and things like that to get people hooked in also.
It's a very emotional type of template they throw at people.
Yeah.
They really tie in the archetypes and they really tie in a lot of historical images. I think they've really made a science out of entertaining people through their special movies and their special entertainment.
Yes.
They really know how to do it now. I mean, they got the music, they've got the actors, they've got just the right characters, they have the magic,
Mm-hmm.
the aura, the environment, everything about it. I mean, even Frozen, right?
Yeah.
It really appealed to a lot of kids and a lot of families, and it instantly became a popular movie overnight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I never saw it in theaters, but I know a lot of people who did, and they're like, "Oh, we love it."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Disney knows how to
Hook people
keep you
in?
on the chains.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I have a friend who works at Disneyland, and he said he hates it there. It's just miserable to live there because they don't really give you much advancement in terms of like the lower level jobs.
Uh-huh.
So they're still a strong believer in like the minimum wage,
Mm.
stagnation, and the
Right.
only way where you can advance in that kind of and I'm just talking about like working at the amusement park. If you have like a low level job in terms of like I don't know, working at in the park doing, I don't know, like picking up trash or something like that. If you
Right.
have that kind of level entry job, there's not much advancement for you. Only if you go like full time, or if you have some sort of connection or something like that. Like any hierarchy goes, but
Yeah.
Disney in particular, they have a a large bottom level. You know what I mean? In respect to the hierarchy. So the Disney hierarchy is really huge, but their bottom level is even huger,
Right.
for lack of better words. And my friend, he tells me a bunch of stories how, people have worked there for like X amount of years and they really don't do anything. They just stay at their same position
Yeah.
and they're miserable.
I heard something similar. They have to they have to force themselves into a happy state all the time.
Yeah, it's that kind of magic they have to relive every day
My
throughout the
God.
week. You know, it is a job,
Yeah.
to be honest. I'm not going to criticize, pays the bills or get you a paycheck.
Yeah.
You do your thing. But um, Disney really knows how to uh, manipulate their workforce. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're masters at it.
Corporation man.
Pure masters. Well, yeah, they're the biggest kind of corporation, right?
Yeah.
They're like the corporate level of corporate levels. They're like the corporate of everything.
Yeah. No, yeah. I love Disney, to be honest. I grew up with it. The whole thing was just
You always, yeah.
I was a
When
Disney
we
kid, yeah.
first met, you always played Disney music in the car,
All the time, man. I would sing along.
and I was
and-
helpless. I couldn't go anywhere.
I remember I would always like play the soundtrack to like Mulan or something, and I would sing along
Yeah,
to it.
and like Lion King.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, man.
like-
I always liked feeling like a child at certain points, you know? It brings me back to this different energy, I guess. It takes the seriousness out of, the bad times or like the serious times, you know? So it
Yeah.
just, it makes you feel just a different way. I think it would be a problem if you listen to it all the time, though, because it's like we have to grow up at a certain point. We have to take on responsibilities. But every now and then you can take a trip back to your childhood, you know?
Well, that's how they really get you. So they pretty much plant that magic when you're small, right? When you're a kid,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be forever part of your life. Like
Oh,
when you
yeah.
hear that, even when you hear like a verse from a song, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that's my childhood."
Yeah.
Or even
yeah.
if you like see a character, "Oh, that's my childhood."
Yeah.
They really got you.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how they do it. And I don't think per se it's not a bad thing to, um, constantly be a Disney fan. Like there's a lot of girls out there,
Yeah.
and a lot of guys too, who have like those season passes,
Oh, yeah.
and they honestly use it to a good extent.
Yeah.
So they go a couple times a year. They actually get their money's worth.
Right.
It's not a bad thing.
Oh, yeah.
but-
Oh, yeah.
I think what you were trying to say is to an extent where it becomes you're just a man child or
Yes.
a woman child,
Yeah.
then things get a little concerning because you're not really taking on responsibility. You're not being productive. You're not being an adult in respect to the workforce or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I
It's-
think it depends on where that balance lies, right? For me, I think the balance lies very farther than most people would think, because I like singing and I like acting like a child at times, but but I
love
know
singing.
how serious I can take my responsibilities as well. But I think it just comes down to balance, dude. I just I know I've been around certain people who are very like. I remember at Mount
Certain
Sac,
people.
like not anybody that you would know. I'm just like naming people in general, like in life, right?
Okay.
High school, college, everything together, who have been really like down in their energy. And you know who really taught me to? And I've always been this way. I've always been this way from childhood, but I never felt comfortable truly expressing it hardcore. Until I met this guy in high school. His name was Matthew. Not you, Matthew. Different Matthew.
I was there.
Yeah, imagine Matt.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
We're all connected.
yeah. He
so
was
this
an
guy
actor.
named Matt.
Yeah, he was a guy named Matt. He was an actor, and he won He was in all these different plays, and people loved his acting, and he was so expressive, and he was just such a joy to be around. His energy was just all over the place. He would crack jokes all the time. He would do imitations of like different characters and different things, and
Very charismatic.
oh
Yeah.
my god, so charismatic. And my other friend, he was also very charismatic. He was like an all-star in high school and everything. And so we would be like a little trio. And so this one guy, this actor, he always did imitations, and he always just didn't care what people thought about him. Even if people thought like, dude, what is this guy doing? He just didn't care. And the fact that he didn't care is what made him such a joy to be around. He was just so open, and the fact again, like that, the fact that he didn't care was just so magnetic. It's such a charismatic quality. And he would just sing and he would dance, and that's what made me kind of open up to singing and dancing more, and just like not giving a fuck, to be quite honest. Which is how we met in the car. And I remember we would always just, at least I would always sing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're back in your day when you were developing through high school.
Yeah.
You were really drawn to a lot of charismatic people.
Yeah.
And a lot of socially high people,
Yes.
for lack of better sentences.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting, because
Yep.
I think deep down inside you had a desire to also be that type of
Person.
pretty much that type of alpha status kind of
100%.
admired.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was part of it. And then the other part would be the conversations. I think I might have told you this before. I moved my group of friends from one group to another. And this other group, this first group, I didn't really get along well with, because a huge portion of what they would talk about is just girls, girls, girls. Like 99% of it. And I'm like, okay, that's great. You can talk about girls, but make that like 20-25% of the conversation. There's so many other things to talk about that you're missing out on if you're not paying attention. So when I joined this other group, when I started hanging around this other group, all they would talk about was not all they would talk about. They would talk about everything, movies, like what we're talking about right now. All the stuff that we talk about, we have such a wide variety of topics. And these are all things that they were both very interested in, and their energy, the energy that they brought to the conversation was just a fabulous. Like I was a fucking joy to be around these people, dude. But anyways, back to Disney.
Disney.
Yeah, they just such an expressive person, you know. So
It had much of a more impactful force on you than it did on me, to be honest, because I don't remember
yeah,
being so involved in Disney in general growing up.
right.
I watched movies here and there on VCR back when those were a thing, and movies like the Mulan, Lion King, Aladdin.
Yeah,
What else? Toy Story, but that wasn't really Disney back then. That was more Pixar. Yeah, I wasn't as, I guess, hardcore as you,
yeah.
because you used to rewatch Lion King how many times?
Oh God, I don't even know.
You vaguely told me.
100
times to count.
times at least. I lost count. That's for sure. At least 100 times over and over. In fact, I have video of me when I was 4 years old watching it, and there were certain like fight scenes in The Lion King, and I would act like a lion and roar and just jump all over the couches, and I almost hurt my little sister at the time. She was like a baby at the time.
That's
And
so cute.
This video kind of just brings me back, and I don't know. Something about that movie, especially like out of all Disney movies, something about that movie in particular has always just attracted me. And it's just I kept, especially the end fight scene between Scar and Simba. I just played over and over and over. Like I would figure out how to rewind it on my video cassette player, and I would just rewind it, and I would watch it again, and I would start acting on it again.
Yeah. Is there a movie you can constantly rewatch and never get tired of it?
So
It could be a Disney movie.
right. So a couple, I would say.
Oh yeah.
The Lion King is one. Um, a second one is probably Man of Steel. The
Okay.
Superman
Yeah.
movie, which is a very like it's not a very popular movie. It was an average movie, but yeah, yeah, it's an average movie, but that one in particular, just something about it, cinematography, the pain that Superman goes through, the fact that I don't know, just the acting, the actors, all that stuff.
Yep.
But those two, I would say, I can probably watch over and over. What about
Oh
you?
yeah. It's hard to say. I've seen a lot of movies in my day, and I hardly rewatch a lot of them.
Right.
Like there'll be times where I'll end up rewatching a movie. I'm like, oh, this is such a good movie. Why don't I watch it more often?
Yeah.
Uh, but in terms of movies, I would really not mind watching over and over again. It's hard to say, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, I haven't been really into movies lately because I've been kind of busy.
No, same. Like I had
Yeah.
friends who told me like, have you seen the recent this movie or that movie? And I'm like, wait,
No,
that movie
bro.
came
I got
out?
shit to do.
Yeah, seriously. Like I'm sorry, man. I can watch the Avengers and I can watch Game of Thrones, but that's it for TV. Like I got other things to do otherwise.
Yeah.
And some superhero movies I'll watch, but some people asked me. There were a couple of popular movies that recently were released, and they asked if I watched them, and I told them I was like, wait, that movie's already out, and they're like, yeah, dude, you haven't been paying attention to like what's been coming out. I'm like, no, I don't really check too often, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see here. To name a few that came out recently
Yeah.
that I would love to rewatch, just not over and over again, but on a daily basis,
Right.
would be La La Land. I thought that was a really good movie.
Oh, that's a very good movie.
It was a really good movie. What else? Gone Girl. That was an incredibly good movie.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, such great acting.
Oh yeah.
What else? Oh, Star Trek Into Darkness. My dad and I used to rewatch that all the time.
Oh really?
Such a great time. Yeah, that was like a personal thing between me and my dad.
Yeah.
Always just rewatch that, even when no one was watching it in theaters.
Right.
There've been plenty of times where it was just us in the movie theater and we would just watch that movie.
Yeah.
What else? Any of the James Bond movies? Any of those have like a
Right.
impactful force on you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And normally
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't before. I loved the movies to begin with, and when I was watching them, um, when I first watched them, I loved them, but it didn't have that much of an impact on me. I loved watching them, and I would watch it over again. And I've seen them, I think, the whole series like 3 times, or not the whole series. I'm talking about with Daniel Craig, all of his movies,
Daniel Craig. Yeah.
3 times over. And I've seen the one before him. I forgot. I've seen his movies once all the way through, but long time ago. But when it comes down to James Bond, when it really started making an impact on me was the third time around I watched it, because there are so many dating coaches who talk about what a suave guy James Bond is, and I never really paid attention to that until they started saying it. And then the third time around when I watched it, I noticed all these things, and I was like, oh my god, this guy is good. Like he just and that like the analysis of how, so they say James Bond is the epitome of masculinity in the modern era. He is the masculine man. He's got girls all over him. He's super like in control, very decisive, very dangerous. He's the that very dangerous alpha male type of. He takes on all this kind of stuff, and he doesn't really react so much to what people like. He can face a very stressful situation and easily take it on without feeling so pressured. Or I guess maybe not feeling so pressured, but like just he can handle pressure very well. So
It's kind of like the ultimate alpha male on screen.
yeah.
I mean, in terms of, I guess, Hollywood history,
Yeah.
handsome white guy, very very strong, very tough, very alpha.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what Hollywood was all about back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Other movies that really. I'm trying to think. And I always have this issue too. It's like, what's your favorite movie? I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. I got to think like way back, like way, way back.
Yeah. Give me some options, man.
Give me some options. What's the genre?
Yeah.
What's the year? Yeah. I can never really answer that question flat out because it's like, oh, there's so many movies that are just so good. Like The Dark Knight. That was a good movie.
Right.
What else? Indiana Jones. You ever see Indiana Jones? Any of them?
Yeah, I never was into them, to be honest. I didn't really
Never really
like
into
them. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah. To be honest, me either. But my dad used to watch them a lot, so I kind of had no choice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like a dad film that I
Right.
was forced to watch. What else? I'm just looking through movies here on Google.
Yeah.
Madagascar. That was pretty funny. What else? The Mummy, the very first one.
The Mummy. Yes.
With what's his face? Brendan Fraser. That one guy. Pretty much his only famous movie was The Mummy. What else? Yeah, a lot of movies. Movies nowadays, it's such maybe an important, but a big part of American culture, especially Hollywood and entertainment.
Yeah.
It's had an impactful message on everybody, to be honest, because we spend so much of, money in general
Yeah.
on just budgeting for movies and paying actors and, getting the people of higher status, celebrities. We adore them. There's a celebrity mentality
Yeah.
of like worship and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Famous people back then who were like really, really famous. Let's see. Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
She was apparently really, really Aniston. Yeah. Why was she popular? Oh, Friends. Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. Yeah.
Oh man, Friends. I love that show.
You love Friends? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Never seen it. I never really got into it, to be honest.
Yeah. Fantastic show.
I was
if you
more
ask me.
I was more of a Seinfeld kind of guy.
Oh really? I watched Seinfeld
Yeah.
also. I didn't like Seinfeld too much for some reason.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
It's
why.
kind of a
Yeah.
it's a particular taste of humor, to be honest.
Maybe.
It's kind of like it's not always serious. There's not a lot of drama. It's just a lot of just shit and giggles.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not really like a storyline or a plot. There's not really like a love triangle thing going on. It's just a guy just making a show about nothing. That's what they used to call it.
Practically, yeah.
So that was pretty funny. Yeah, sitcoms in general in American history were a huge part of just the American life and the
Yeah.
American dream.
The American,
So-
the American dream.
I'm going to type in American sitcoms. Those are pretty cool.
Yes.
The Simpsons, of course, Big Bang Theory. Those are
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
recent.
I've seen all. Funny enough, now that I'm thinking about it, I've seen a lot of TV growing up.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, all the things that
I
you're
Love
naming off,
Lucy.
I've seen all of them.
Yeah. The Cosby Show. I'm not old enough to really have the Cosby Show impact me during my childhood.
Yeah,
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I saw
remember
that.
watching that.
yeah.
Yeah. What else? All in the Family. That's kind of an older show.
I haven't
That's
seen
like a
that
dad mom show. MASH. I know that was popular amongst the parents.
one. Right.
Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, I loved that show. Ooh, that was
Really?
great. Oh
I'm
yeah.
surprised.
I-
That's such a
Yeah.
kind of not like an oldster show, but
It is. I feel
it was
100% it is. But for some reason, dude, Raymond, I just loved it. It was so funny because
it was a good show. It was. I liked it. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like Raymond was so funny at times. His voice, the way he couldn't stand up to
Yeah.
his wife, I don't know, man. It was hilarious.
That was a good show, to be honest.
Yeah.
How long did it last? 1996 to 2005.
yeah, yeah,
All right. Wow. That's got to be like what? 8 seasons? 6?
yeah.
9 seasons. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good show. I did like that. That 70s show, that was a huge part of
Oh,
just American TV in general.
yeah, that was a great show. I think I've seen that one like 3 times over.
Yeah. Oh, Scrubs, that was a good show.
I never saw that one, to be
You never
honest.
saw that? Oh
No.
my god,
What's
that's
that one
such
about?
like it's a comedy show based off of a medical environment. So they follow characters that work in the hospital, and it's a very comedic show in respect to relationships and conflict, and it also deals with a lot of serious stuff in the hospital, like people dying, people getting diseases, people getting sick. So it's a good mix of comedy and tragedy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh, life sucks, but we're stupid and people are stupid and we do stupid things just to make ourselves happy. It's like, okay, that's a good message.
Yeah.
So that was a good show. A lot of innovative humor, a lot of
Yeah.
innovative dialogue.
Yep.
What else? 30 Rock. 30 Rock was a great show.
30 Rock.
Yeah, with Tina Fey and
Uh,
Alec Baldwin. Yeah, classic type of sitcom comedy show, just in general TV show. Full House. I heard that was really popular.
ooh, great show. Great show.
Yeah, I remember watching that every
Hmm.
now and then. Two and a Half Men. Apparently that's popular.
Never saw that one, to be
Me
honest.
neither. Never got into it.
Yeah.
I mean, even before Charlie Sheen's whole fiasco in his career, when he was taking like
Drugs?
um, drugs. Yeah, like he was open about it.
Yeah.
Um,
I never heard too much about that.
Me neither, to be honest. I never really watched this show. What else? Home Improvement. That was a big thing.
I
Back in
remember
the
seeing that on television, but I never saw it, I saw like it
yeah,
said Home
it
Improvement,
was
but I
like
was never.
there, but you
Yeah.
never like kept the channel on that show. Like you always switch it.
Yeah, yeah.
The Brady Bunch. Apparently that was a classic.
Yeah.
Um, the Kings of Queens. That was a good show.
Oh, that was.
Uh,
That was.
Yeah, I like that show. Malcolm in the Middle. That was a good show.
Oh,
That
very
was a
good
good
one.
part of my childhood right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What else?
That was the same actor as the guy from the recent show.
Breaking Bad?
Yeah, Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He had a huge career. He went from comedy to like serious cutthroat drama.
Oh yeah, I know. I for some reason I couldn't see him as like
Oh
a
yeah, when you
serious
saw
person.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah,
It's
when
like this
it's
guy
like-
is Walter White.
exactly, exactly.
I had the same thought. I'm like, oh my god, and he's good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else here? I Love Lucy, of course. That was a big
Oh, that was
startup.
fantastic. I saw that one like twice over.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good show. It really
Yeah.
was, and I think it was really innovative. It was really progressive
Yeah,
in a way.
for its time, yeah, 100%.
for its time. Yeah, because it was not your typical show around that time.
Yeah.
It was Cuban. He was Cuban, I think.
Yeah. We got a
And,
Cuban guy marrying a white girl, and the white
I
girl
know,
is
right?
causing trouble.
What's going on? He's all whitewashed.
Yeah.
He's in a band. What is this?
Yeah, I know, right?
Very anti 1950s for that time.
Mm.
What else here? Family Matters, The Jeffersons.
Oh, Family Matters was great. I think I saw that one
I never saw that.
like
I never did.
3 times over. Oh, that one was a good one.
Did I do that? I remember
Yes,
that guy.
yes. He was my favorite character, dude. I loved his transformation
Was that his
from
name?
nerd to like really, really
Urkel.
Yeah, Urkel.
That was his name.
Yeah, Steve Urkel. Yeah.
Steve Urkel. There we go. So it's like a nerdy type of figure.
Yeah.
What else is on here? Brady Bunch, Three Company, Family Ties, The Honeymoons. You ever heard of a show called The Andy Griffith Show?
The Annie Griffith Show. No.
It's a old classic type of. It came out right after I Love Lucy, so I think color was in some episodes. I'm gonna go ahead and send you the link right now.
Mm.
But yeah, apparently that was a very popular show. Wow, that's a long link. But yeah. What else? Yeah, sitcoms in general. I mean, they really did shape a lot of TV in general. Let's see. other shows that were not sitcoms. So I'm gonna type in American drama
Okay.
shows. I'm just doing like research on the fly here. In the past, let's see what we have here. Suits that came up.
Oh, nice. That my second favorite show of all time.
Oh yeah, what's
Yeah.
your first?
Actually, Suits used to be my first for a long time, for years,
Oh damn.
until very
Betrayed
recently. I
them.
would say Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I just after rewatching it, I realized I think it is a little bit better than Suits, but Suits is just it has its place in my heart also.
You ever seen Mad Men?
My ex-girlfriend would always talk about that show and try to get me into it.
Okay. So you kind of
Um,
have that stigma, like I'm not gonna watch it or something like that.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, for some reason, but he was a. I heard the guy.
John Hamm.
Yes, Don Ham. Yes. What was his character's
John.
name?
His character's name was Donald,
Donald Draper.
I think.
Yes.
Donald Draper, yeah.
Very, very attractive alpha male
Very
kind of guy.
alpha. Yep,
Yes.
I knew it.
And so his character was based off of a real life character, David Ogilvy or something. I saw like
Is
the
that
first.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
I didn't know
so basically, so one of the reasons that that particular show was really great, from my ex-girlfriend's perspective, was that it showed a lot of American consumerism and culture and
It
during
was really good in that respect. Yeah.
Yeah.
It showed a lot of good history in respect to just America developing as like an advertisement type of culture.
100%, exactly.
Yeah.
And all the psychological sort of triggers that they would use to sell people on certain things,
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. What other shows here? The West Wing, Law and Order, The Wire, X-Files, 24, Boardwalk Empire. That was a good show. I watched
Yeah.
that during high school.
Okay.
Lost. What else? The Shield, CSI. I was never really into those type of shows like Law and Order, CSI, or
I
those
wasn't
crime
either.
shows.
I
They were
wasn't
kind of
either.
cheesy.
My friend, one of our friends, mutual friends that Michael, he actually showed me an episode of CSI recently, about transgender and like something happened recently, but
Mm-hmm.
it was a decent episode. It was good. But yeah, no, same thing here. I wasn't really into all of it.
It was kind of repetitive. I felt like the story was just repeating itself. It's like, oh, okay, you got bad guys. Oh, here come the detectives. They're gonna solve the mystery. Oh, look, there's a gunfight, and then
Right.
they arrest the bad guys.
Yeah.
It wasn't really innovative.
Yeah.
Well, maybe some shows were. I never really got into it. Prove me wrong,
Is that
please.
a show?
No, I was just talking about
Oh
those
yeah.
shows in general, like
Yeah.
Law and Order. And
Yeah.
I hear. You ever heard of Mr. Robot? That won an Emmy, I think. Did it win an Emmy?
I heard of it. Was that a horror show?
No, it's about a cybernetic genre type of hacker show.
Right. I haven't seen it now.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very. I'll just read you the synopsis here, to be honest. Let's see here. Mr. Robot is an American drama thriller television series created by Sam Esmail. It stars Rami Malek. I can never say his name correctly.
Yeah.
As Elliot Anderson. He's a cybersecurity engineer and hacker who has social anxiety disorder and clinical depression. So apparently it's about a hacker guy. And he's doing things here and there. And apparently it won a Golden Globe.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty good stuff. Let's see here. Breaking Bad, of course. Stranger Things. You never saw Stranger Things, have you?
I've seen like the first few episodes. I couldn't get into it, man. I really
Really?
couldn't.
Not
I
really?
don't know. It just seemed. Maybe I saw the first season actually. I really couldn't get into it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What really turned you off? Was it like the acting?
The
Maybe
acting,
dialogue?
the kids, I just didn't really get what was going on.
Yeah.
It just didn't draw me in, the plot. It was just some random thing happening.
Oh, yeah?
But
Just like
yeah.
out of nowhere. It's like, what's this mystery? Doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved it.
Okay.
I did. Yeah. I knew From the moment I saw, what's her face, Millie Bobby Brown, you know, uh, the teenage girl
Uh huh.
that became famous overnight when that show came out.
Right.
I knew the moment I saw her, she was going to become insanely famous.
Okay.
She just has the look, she has the act, she has the body language just to become like that huge celebrity.
Okay.
And she honestly did. She's honestly. Can I look up her net worth?
Yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown net worth. And this is from one show alone. But of course, she has all these gigs now with different shows like Godzilla, or not shows, movies like Godzilla coming out and
Oh,
other
really?
movies. So she's worth $3 million right now, apparently, and she's 15,
Oh, shit.
16, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Stranger Things really skyrocketed her career.
Mm.
What else? Doo-doo-doo-doo. Um, you remember Smallville? Do you remember that show?
Yeah. Wasn't that a Superman show based on the, you know, town that he lived in?
I think it was some sort of like supernatural type of show. Um,
Okay.
Wait a minute. Smallville. Oh, I think you're right, actually. Really? Was that American television series developed by writers yada yada yada? Based on DC comic character Superman, created by Jerry. Really? It was about Superman?
Because Smallville is the place where he's from.
No way.
Yeah, that's his like town.
Oh my god! I thought it was like a an independent type of horror or independent show. I had no idea it was connected to DC.
Yeah.
What? That's crazy. Oh my god! And they got like Bruce Wayne's in it and everything. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really got into it, but it was always on every now and then.
Right.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Wait, what show am I thinking of then? Was it Smallville? I guess so. Yeah. Wow. Learned some. What else? Doo-ga-doo. I mean, yeah, we could sit here all day and just look up shows. I mean, that's not gonna be interesting.
I know,
Uh,
right? Shows and movies
yeah,
and whatnot.
show movies, everything, entertainment. Yeah, just things to keep us busy from lives in general. Um, yeah, but entertainment from American culture. It's such a uh, deep cultural just environment overall. Like it's so ingrained in our culture, just entertainment in general, whether it be movies, shows, video games.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. Um, and thanks to the internet, all that's amplified pretty
Big
much. So
time.
you
Big
have
time.
a lot more shows, a lot more movies, a lot more video games, a lot more distractions.
I know, right?
It's crazy to think about.
I think
Um,
for my childhood, it would be video games and sitcoms. Those are the two biggest things.
oh yeah,
Yeah. I just, if
yeah. I
I
remember
really look
growing
back
up on
at
a
it.
lot of cartoons. To be honest, remember Nickelodeon
Oh,
back when
yeah.
they were good. Yeah. I'm gonna look up shows right now on Nickelodeon.
Oh,
Uh,
my Lord. Here we go. That's another, yeah, let's look that up.
okay, SpongeBob, iCarly, Victorious, Rugrats, The Loud House, Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was a huge deal.
Great.
Fairly Odd Parents, Hey Arnold, Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
That's a classic. Doug, Big Time Rush, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Danny Phantom, Zoe
Yeah.
101. Uh, what else? Legend of Korra, Jimmy Neutron. What else? What shows do you really remember from like the cartoons?
Oh, man. So SpongeBob, we got SpongeBob was a huge one. From Nickelodeon specifically, I remember Danny Phantom, SpongeBob, The Fairly Odd Parents. Um, what else? Jimmy Neutron, sort of. Avatar
Same
for
here, yeah.
sure. Huh?
Avatar for sure as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Avatar was a great one. I actually recently rewatched that one like a few months ago.
Oh yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good show.
yeah.
It really is.
There's that one, and then what else? I feel like I'm forgetting a lot. Oh, iCarly. Um, what else? There were a lot, actually. I feel like I'm missing some here.
There were a lot, to be honest. They kind of experimented a lot. They tried
Yeah.
shows here and there. Some didn't succeed, some did.
You know, some of the ones that I remember from Disney Channel was okay. So they had the Sweet Life of.
I
I don't know if you
remember,
saw the Sweet.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember some of those. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, All About Raven. Was that what it was called?
That's So
Um,
Raven.
that's So Raven.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. That was a
It's
classic.
been a while. What else on Disney Channel? Kim Possible, was that
I
on
didn't.
Disney Channel?
Yeah, I think. Was it Disney Channel? Yeah, it was. It was.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I never
I
saw
remember.
too much of that one, but I did see a little bit.
Let's see what else was on the Disney Channel back in the day. Geez, there were a lot. Hannah Montana, Jesse, Kim Possible, um, Good Luck Charlie, Raven's Home,
Yeah. Good Luck
Shake It
Charlie
Up.
was a good one.
Geez, these are, I've never heard of most of these.
Some of them are probably newer.
Yeah, you know what really got me into anime, or like the first like introduction
Which
of
one?
like anime in general. Remember Adult Swim? I think it's still going on now. Like on
Yeah.
Cartoon Network, like after like 11 o'clock, Adult Swim used to air, and
Yeah.
that was like prime time television.
Right.
It was like, oh, your kids shouldn't watch this show after 11 o'clock. It's Adult Swim, and
Yeah.
they had shows like Robot Chicken. What
Yeah.
else?
I never saw
Samurai
those.
Jack. The A popular one was the Boondocks. The Boondocks. It
Uh-huh.
was like a black type of anime show.
Right.
Yeah, all these type of like adult TV shows.
Yeah, Family Guy
Like
was
they're
one too.
Family Guy too. Yeah, they're very expressive on like the humor and very shameless.
Oh yeah.
Um, very shameless. But uh, the reason why I mention that is because they used to do reruns of Cowboy Bebop. Do you know that anime?
Oh no.
Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, that was a classic type of one of the pioneering animes actually,
Okay.
and I think it only had one season. It was on for like 1 year, but that anime alone was enough to just skyrocket the anime genre in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, Adult Swim used to um, they used to do reruns of that show back
Yeah.
in the day of like early 2000s. So yeah, this was a type of show that really got me into anime. So Cowboy
Uh-huh.
Bebop was really that type of um, just classic anime
Mhm.
that it never loses its taste. It's such a unique type of anime, and a lot of people recommend this type of anime if you want to get into anime.
Mhm.
How many times can I say anime in one sentence? So,
No, seriously.
you don't watch much anime besides like Dragon Ball Z, Avatar, Last Airbender. Back when you were growing up, right?
So I saw Yu-Gi-Oh. That was one.
That
I
was a big thing.
saw.
Yeah.
So I love that one. That one was fantastic. Um, I loved Dragon Ball Z even more than Yu-Gi-Oh. What else? I think that was it, if I'm not incorrect.
Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Like you were all um like the cartoon type of Americanized
Yeah.
animes, I would say.
Yeah.
So Teen Titans maybe.
Yeah, Teen Titans somewhat, not too much, but a little bit here and there.
Okay. So Dragon Ball Z, maybe not Naruto.
No, not
You've probably
Naruto.
seen it, but you never really got into it.
I
Um,
saw, yeah, yeah, I never really got into it, to be honest.
Same with One Piece. What
Yeah.
else? Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist, no, but oh my god, dude. My ex-girlfriend could not stop raving about that show. She said
Oh yeah.
oh my God. You know Elon Musk, if you go to his Twitter page and look at his profile,
His profile is, yeah.
yeah, she told me that.
Reddit went
She's
crazy
like,
about
how
that.
crazy is it that, apparently that's her favorite character too. So,
Oh yeah. What's his name?
um,
Aang? I forget.
I don't know which one it is, but dude, like apparently this show is just like really good.
It was supposed it What made it so good was it was a type of futuristic fantasy type of like fighting action anime that brought um what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like the Ouija board type of genre.
Yeah.
So like, you know, um hieroglyphics and writings on the wall and things like that. It combined all that historical uh like human loss of words here, that type of genre, and it mixed it with action pretty much, and I think that's what
Yeah.
really got a lot of people. um where were we going with this? Full Metal Alchemist, it was really good. I never finished it. I watched it here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're really bored, it's a show to watch.
Definitely.
What else? You were No, you weren't really into that. Let's see, a Pokemon, maybe?
No, no.
Really?
I get that one
That's
a lot. I'm surprised, to be honest. I feel like
You're surprised?
that's
Why
something I
didn't
would have
like
been into.
Pokemon?
I don't know, man.
I was never really into it either. I was forced into it by my siblings
Oh, really?
because they were hardcore fans.
Yeah.
I was more of like a Yu-Gi-Oh type of sometimes Digimon. I remember
Oh,
that
yeah.
show.
I never
Yeah.
I remember it, but I never saw it.
Never got into it.
Yeah.
I never really got into Dragon Ball, to be honest.
Ah,
I don't know
interesting.
why. It's a perfect show for me.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I've been watching it recently. It's really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. The which one have you been watching?
I just finished Super, so
Oh, you finished. You caught up the whole thing.
yeah, the whole thing. Yeah,
Oh, wow, nice. Okay. So
great.
including the
Great.
Japanese version, or
Well, yeah, I watched the Japanese version
the whole way through.
the whole way through. Yeah,
Oh man, okay. For some reason, I can't
yeah.
do that. Like, I watched all the way up to the English one, and then I started finishing up with the Japanese.
Oh yeah. So you've seen
Yeah.
the whole thing?
Yes, I'm caught up with the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was great, honestly.
Yeah.
Some people, some hardcore fans were like, "Oh, Dragon Ball Kai was better," or the original Dragon Ball was better.
Yeah.
Um,
I like Super
but
more, to be honest.
oh really? Oh, better watch out.
Yeah, I
It
do.
was a good series. I really liked it, especially at the end. It was such a huge climax.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was just, dude, you know what I love about that show is that the main character just keeps on breaking his limits. There is no
Yeah,
limit to
Goku.
this guy. It's like he's
How
gonna
many
become
times
a
gonna break his
god.
limits? Yeah.
He seriously, like, what limit? And he started off as like the lowest level, I guess power level as a warrior. Just started off like
yeah.
as a nobody, and over the series you consistently see him surprising people over and over and over as he just breaks his limits consistently. That's what I think keeps. That's what makes him such a great character. I think is simply the fact that he can do something like that so much over and over and over again. I don't know, man. It's just something else.
It's that development that really captures people.
Yeah.
I really liked it because, well, just the show in general. Great fighting scenes, good
Yeah.
dialogue, and it really has that unique type of environment that no other anime can really pull off. Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
is such a... It has something for everybody. And it's
Yeah.
such a... not a manly show, but definitely masculine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Dragon
it
Ball?
definitely
Oh,
has
100%. The fighting.
100%.
Wait.
The
Sorry.
fighting.
Say it
Just in
again.
general, yeah.
Yeah. So we're still talking about Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. Masculinity is like 100% a thing in that show because you see it's like a war. It's like the warrior aspect of masculinity, right? It's the whole staying completely dedicated to your craft and just in this case fighting, right? Or not it's not kung fu, but like just fighting. But
Mm.
the simple fact that there's so much competition, the competitive nature, you see it in the main characters. That I think is a pure like it really hits with young boys, because you don't see a lot of girls into Dragon Ball Z. It's just a lot of young
No.
boys who, I guess it's this whole, again, it resembles this whole masculinity thing. Like, they break their barriers, they get super mad, they yell at the top of their lungs. They're like,
Yeah.
like these Saiyans, the main character, their race is just like walking bags of massive testosterone. So
Yeah. That's pretty
yeah,
much what the show just carries it throughout
yeah,
the entire series. It's such a it's a male fantasy in some cases.
yeah,
It really does cater to that kind of demographic. You know,
100%.
overcome yourself, be disciplined, get better,
Yes.
defeat the enemy. Be the
Yep.
hero.
Yep.
That's what it is. Let's see. Yeah. Jeez, we've been talking about shows for a while now.
Yeah.
There's so much. I mean, because, we grew up in modern day America where,
Yeah.
the entertainment culture it was developing at a massive rate when we were growing up from
Yeah.
late 90s to now.
100%.
Through the early 2000s, that's where entertainment was really, scattering across different platforms.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially nowadays when movies, TV shows, you have so many devices like iPads and TVs everywhere. TVs have gotten very cheap, high quality. You have the internet where you can stream things with like Netflix. So it's everywhere now.
Yeah, it is everywhere, especially with Netflix. They really revolutionized the on-demand entertainment.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, they really knocked out blockbuster Hollywood videos, the classic days where you used to actually plan out your day and go to the movie store and rent a movie or actually go through the selection.
Right.
Jeez. No other generation is going to know that type of feeling.
I used to get free coupons for Blockbuster.
Really?
They would come
Free
in, yeah,
coupons?
once a week, and I can go rent out like a movie or a video game, and I would just go use the free coupons, and I would never actually get more movies or anything else. It was just your typical, hey, let's just get the free ones, and then that's it.
Yeah, I mean, that business alone, it really was built upon, I think, renting movies in general. That's where they made the most money.
Yeah.
And people I remember my dad used to freak out a lot of the time. No, not my dad. He didn't care. My brother did when,
Mm.
when the movie was overdue or something like that, because they used to charge you by the day.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, your movie's overdue, and we charge you like, $1.50 each day. It's like $1.50, and it's like we gotta turn that shit in right away.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
So there was that. There was that trade-off when it came to renting movies and games.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
I mean, that another relic in economic history.
Yeah, seriously. I wonder where it's gonna head now. I don't think I'll be a part of. Maybe I'll watch like the main movies that come out, like the biggest ones, like the Avengers, and the biggest shows maybe. But I don't know. I feel as if that same degree cannot be there of watching like movies and TV shows, you know. Because I used to
Oh
watch
yeah.
all the time. That's what all I would do on the weekends is just watch TV, you know. And that's
Oh really?
literally it, you know. Not just weekends, in the like weekdays too. I would come home from school, would start watching TV, and then I would get to do homework after like an hour of TV, and then I'd just wake up in the morning, and I would get up earlier in the morning just so I can watch a little bit of TV before I go to school. So it
It's all
was,
TV.
yeah, it was everywhere. I remember I used to watch also the Smurfs. Did you ever see it, the original cartoon?
The Smurfs? No, actually, that was a cartoon.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I used to
Huh.
watch that one all the time.
Oh yeah. Hmm. Sounds legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a similar childhood in respect to that, um, like entertainment phase, watching
Yeah,
TV shows, watching cartoons, uh, growing up with those iconic shows, like shows from Nickelodeon, from Cartoon Network,
yeah,
Disney Channel. That really worked in terms of childhood memories. They really
100%.
got us. Yeah, I mean, even if I hear like a theme song from a certain show, I'm like, oh, I know that.
Oh yeah,
It's so undeniable. It's so strong. Um,
yeah,
yeah, what's the whole idea when it comes to developing like as a child?
yeah.
It's really to what's the word I'm looking for? Not only discover, but also to just have fun, right? You're always just like messing around. You're doing things. Um, are you
Yeah.
selective as a child? Would you say you were kind of selective as a child? Like you only watch like certain shows or
Somewhat, yeah. But I would always, after watching, I would get like sad when a certain show ended and I had nothing else to watch, and then at that point I had to watch something else, and then when I had to watch something else, that's when I got into the other show. But I would always have certain favorites,
you're always transitioning? Yeah.
Yeah, just I had to keep myself busy, at that time. But I remember. Uh, Especially this would always happen with Friends. Every time Friends would end, I would just get sad, dude. Like I specifically remember this show just making me upset. Like when it
You were
ended,
just you just love Friends, didn't you?
it was probably my favorite sitcom, as it is for many people as well. It was just so
Yeah, that's
funny. I don't know, like the not just
really.
funny, but it was such a you get emotionally attached to the characters. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What made it so funny? Was it just like the drama that was going on and
The
how ridiculous
drama
it could be?
and the sarcasm. There was a lot of sarcasm, the crazy things that
Okay.
would happen. It wasn't just like random things happening. It was the relationships between the people, the personalities interacting with each other that I don't know, they just seemed to mesh really well. Not a very realistic depiction of life, but very funny in my opinion. Um, just like stupidly funny at times. Like two of the characters were stupid. Like they were two out of the six main characters were very dumb, like actually dumb, So, and they would just say some of the stupidest things at times, and you just can't help but laugh. So there was that,
Yeah.
and then the fact, just the characters, and it takes like maybe a couple episodes to get into it, maybe like three, but once you get into it, man, it's hard. And so my favorite character was this guy named Chandler, and he would always be very very sarcastic. That was his thing, and he would always make fun of the people in the show. Like he would make fun of the other characters, and I just thought it was hilarious when he made fun of the other characters. So I don't
Oh
know. I
yeah.
guess that's pretty much it. What made it funny?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always see on Reddit where they make fun of a lot of Tinder profiles where they say, "Is Friends a personality?" I'm like, is it really that
Oh my
popular of a show?
god. Yeah. Damn.
Guess it was a huge thing back then. Uh, yeah. I mean, a lot of people they keep those shows to heart. Like Friends, The Office, uh, Parks and Recreation, what other shows that are like really popular that people just will never let go. Um, can't think of anything else. Teen Titans, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just something that always made you laugh, right? It was a happier time. It was a time
Yeah.
where things didn't really suck. You were happy to just look forward to
watch.
the next episode, like what was gonna
Seriously.
happen, the suspense.
Yeah.
It was like your own little world. Time
Yeah.
didn't matter.
I always felt like I don't know. I always felt like I forgot what I was gonna say. It just slipped my mind.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, I don't know. It just literally slipped my mind. Something else came into my mind, but that's fine. But yeah, you were saying.
Kind of a lazy episode, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably asking, "Oh, whatever happened to the Academy or the report episodes?" We've been kind of slacking it,
You
as you
know,
could
there's just
tell.
not
To
much
be
been going on in
honest,
the news, guys. You know, what can I say? Nothing important to
there are
report.
plenty going on. It's just we're fine, guys. Don't
That's
worry.
just our excuse.
There's just nothing interesting happening. No more murders.
Yeah.
No more fights. Everyone's just peaceful now.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, there's so many bad things to talk about every now and then, and every news outlet, they pretty much monopolize on that kind of content. So
seriously, man.
you got CNN always talking about the latest racist issue or the gender misappropriation. You've got Fox News talking about the recent like leftist ideology in politics and how they're going to take away our rights. And
Yeah.
it's just massive bias on each side and extreme politics thrown at viewers left and right, up and down, sideways.
Yeah.
It gets exhausting. And
do you feel like it's overwhelming the amount of negativity and you're just like I don't even want to look at this
it's
anymore.
amplifying it to a degree. It really is.
Yeah.
And it gets people just to be scared of walking out of their homes.
Yeah.
I know my mom is like that, where she'll watch the news and she'll watch a recent like car chase in LA, and next thing you know, she's very cautious about driving down the street from where we live.
Mm.
It's that mentality that news outlets give to people that cause a lot of fear, but they know what their strategy is ultimately is to cause this amount of uncertainty and fear into a lot of people's minds that they can constantly provide content that will always be consumed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, Kind of a dystopian way of looking at it, but
Definitely.
it is a degree to where news outlets nowadays, they're toxic, they're so exhausting, and you can see this across every social media platform. Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, even, where
Yeah.
it's just everywhere, news left and right, and people got their own ideas and their own takes. And even the latest shooting in Australia, the do they have a name for it? Like a massacre?
No, not too sure.
Churchill massacre, I think that's what it was.
Mm.
Uh, Churchill shooting, New Zealand. It was the New Zealand shooting.
Mhm.
Um,
I don't know. I don't think they had a name for it, or maybe I'm just
it-
forgetting it.
yeah, let's talk about that. Why did you forget it?
Yeah, the name or the I didn't even forget the event.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the
You're
event.
talking about the name. Why did I forget the name?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. I don't know, dude. Maybe it just wasn't catchy enough.
wasn't
Uh,
catching.
But I mean, I remember the event happening. I just don't remember
It's
the
called
name.
the Christchurch shootings. That's what they call it.
Yes, that's what it was called. Yes.
I mean,
I just feel like
I
there's so
get
many
it.
shootings. You know.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, right. I was about to say that, dude. I was like, there's so many nowadays. What? I can't remember the names.
yeah, it's sad. It's a sad
It
commentary.
is sad. I mean, that's the reality of it now. It's like, oh, there's so many nowadays. Which one are you talking about?
Seriously.
Kind of a sad thing to say.
There was a
but-
recent one actually in California at a synagogue.
Oh yeah, that slipped our minds. Recent news, folks. Odyssey Report.
I know, right?
Synagogue shooting in California. So apparently, in Pittsburgh, Oh, wait,
No,
no,
I
that's-
think it was California.
it was a California. Okay,
Yeah.
because this would happen in 2018. Yeah.
I
Here's
just
the
remember
folks.
Donald Trump saying something
He
on
commented on
the
it.
CNN, reporting it, saying he was saying his what does he say? His deepest condolences are with the families. So I was
Something
like,
very
oh,
presidential.
yeah, yeah, your typical presidential thing. So I'm like, okay,
CNN reports when a gunman opened fire in a synagogue in California, killing one and injuring three others. Lori Kay jumped between the shooter and the rabbi. Kay, 60
wow,
years old, was shot at the synagogue and died at a nearby hospital. In addition, Kay, at least three others were wounded in the shooting Saturday at Congregation Chabad in Poway. Oh, okay, Poway, California. That's near San Diego, north of San Diego, yeah.
yeah,
By late Sunday morning, all three injured victims have been discharged from the hospital, but this one lady who sacrificed herself to save a rabbi passed away.
wow,
Wow, yeah. That's tragic. It really is.
yeah.
I mean, to be in that situation, why would you throw yourself in front of a
I,
man? Not,
I,
not a man, but in front of a person like that.
dude, I don't know. I think it's for protection. Wait, so the woman jumped in front of the rabbi,
A,
correct?
a
To
rabbi to protect
him.
the rabbi himself. I
It was
mean,
probably a religious thing, They probably had a
yeah,
deep
they probably knew each
connection.
other very well. They were really involved with the church,
Yeah, the synagogue, you mean?
the synagogue.
Yeah.
What religion are we talking about?
It's a Judaism.
Judaism.
Yeah.
Yes, I know religion. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, just why?
Yeah, the whole shooting in general, or you're talking about the
Yeah,
jumping in
just
front of?
everything in general. Yeah, just the
Yeah.
shooting, how it happened, what was the motive? Was it just a hate crime?
Who
Oh, I
knows?
saw. It was mentioned that the shooter was going to live stream this shooting, just as it was done in Christchurch in New Zealand.
Oh my lord. I also, one of my friends posted this on Instagram. I totally forgot to mention this, that there was a terror plot that was thwarted, and this terror plot was going to happen in LA.
In LA, huh?
Yeah. And it was something about like a previous military member, a vet, was going to do something. I forgot, with like a bomb or something like that. But that was stopped by authorities. And I mean, I don't know how they really found out. The authorities, there might be, it's like the FBI maybe spying on people,
CIA,
or the
yeah.
CIA. Yeah. But who knows, man? Like, it's a very, I don't want to
I think they
say,
know.
yeah, they
I think
probably
the
know.
CIA always knows. They always know. I'm pretty sure they have a bunch of just surveillance everywhere, and we don't even
Yeah.
know about it. Always being watched every now and then, and it's
Oh
easier
yeah.
for them, to be honest, because of social media.
Yeah. Oh
They're like,
yeah.
oh, you're
There's
doing our job for us.
thousands of like data scrappers that will comb the web for um different things. Like, I did research on this. They scrap the web for opinions, reactions, criticisms, like just political opinions in general, and keywords, I think, that will trigger a response in the CIA or FBI that will, I guess, make sure that they follow along with what this person is doing or what they're saying. And so, if they say some trigger words, that will say something like, I don't know, like nuke or something like that, then
Just nuke.
yeah,
Yeah,
then it goes
there's an
off.
algorithm in place
Yeah,
in
I think
certain
so.
social media platforms.
Definitely.
Because I think, in terms of surveillance, um, America has been perhaps the number one country in respect to surveilling or just watching their own nation, like their own citizens,
Oh
perhaps
yeah,
even
probably.
violating a bunch of rights.
Probably. Maybe
But people
China
just
could
don't know.
be. China, I
Oh,
think, maybe
that could be it.
close or
Yeah,
worse. Yeah.
maybe they're number one. I
Yeah.
wouldn't doubt it because a, a lot of their content over there is manipulated and controlled. They don't even have
Yeah.
like YouTube or Google over there, I believe. They
Yeah,
have
it's
their
very
own
censored.
very censored government platform,
Yeah.
so it's very controlled over there. Um, yeah, it's kind of sad to think about. Land of the free, right? But to what
I know.
extent?
I guess, right? But okay, so would you say that for security purposes, you're okay with, let's say, the FBI or the CIA actually, spying on you or surveillance against you?
Would I allow it, or
Yeah.
would I be comfortable with
For,
it?
for safety purposes, let's say, would you allow them to want to do that?
I think I'm at the point where I don't even have a choice.
Oh, right, right. But let's say you did have a choice.
Yeah, right. Obviously, it would be no because of violation of privacy and
Right.
whatnot. But to really think about it, that's kind of a lazy answer. Sorry. So
Yeah.
in terms of security, let's rephrase the question, or at least spice it up. So,
Mm.
would I allow a certain degree of surveillance for ensured security? Is that the correct
Yeah.
question?
Yes,
Oh,
basically, yeah.
okay.
So this could
So,
happen to anyone where the FBI or the CIA can spy on certain things, you know, like against you or against anyone, not just you, but anyone,
right.
in basically to increase the odds of safety for to thwart terror plots and to thwart gun shootings and things like that.
Right, yeah. So they'll tap in like the local like gaming session in respect to Call of Duty, and they're like, okay, are these guys really just playing Call of Duty, or are they planning something? You know, it gets to
Right.
that kind of
Or like
in.
certain trigger. I mean, I guess it's already kind of happening, right, with like the trigger words. But like, let's say a trigger word gets um, picked up, then the FBI can listen into your conversation. Would
Oh,
you be? Let's say you had a choice of, I don't want the FBI to be able to do that anymore. Would you be okay with that, or would you want to continue letting them do that?
you know what? Um, I'm not too sure, to be honest. That's a very
Mm,
complicated question because, of course, everyone would agree that some extent of security is needed,
right.
but how much of that is going to trump our right to privacy?
Right. Right.
Because I
For
feel like
me,
it's not.
yeah.
Sorry. Real quick, I feel
Mhm.
like I can't always be the one to provide security all the time. You know what I mean?
What do
So,
you mean exactly?
in respect to one's security,
Mm.
you're not gonna have the resources. Uh, you're not gonna have all the resources to keep you safe at all times. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where I believe the CIA and other organizations do,
Yeah.
at
Uh,
least more than the average individual.
yeah, for sure. So what I would say on my end is I think I would allow it and I would want it because I'm not going to do anything evil or whatever. That's not like who I am or whatever. And I don't have anything to really hide privacy wise.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't want the CIA to be able to just like look at anything that I do, obviously, but to for the whole trigger word thing, I think that should be okay or that should be fine. Um, but overall, that's something that I think I can allow. It's not like I'm like I don't know. I don't really care too much about privacy from people that I don't even know. And if they're doing it for purposes of safety, then it's not like a thing to me. I don't really care. Like, hey, you
Right.
can watch me on Facebook or whatever, Like, what do
Yeah.
you
To the
have to
FBI
find?
agent who's listening right now, we don't mind.
That's what I was thinking too. Didn't want to say anything, but yeah.
Don't want to say anything. Let's bring him on board.
I know, right?
Imagine a voice comes out of nowhere. Hey, what's up, guys? Really glad to be on the podcast.
No, no.
I mean, people think over the top when it comes to like conspiracies and how they're abusing their power and how they're they're being very selective or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be some type of trust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
respect to the system, but you have a lot of anarchists and a lot of leftists who are saying no, it's not. It's not trust. They're just trying to be abusive with their power. They're very tyrannical. Their patriarchy needs to be taken down. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of over the top, because you know you're going to be watched, especially in our culture nowadays. It's with social media and all this internet uh, uh, connections in respect to culture. It's
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. So
No, 100%. Yeah.
it can't really be escaped, because I don't think anybody can really be off the grid. You know what I mean? Like completely.
Yeah.
Like I know I say I'm off the grid where I'm like off social media, but I'm on Discord and
Yeah.
what else? My name's in the California state system.
Yeah.
DMV. They know me. So I'm not completely off the grid.
Yeah.
So they can like look up my address and be in there in like 2 minutes if they wanted to. So
Oh yeah, 100%.
there is that level of surveillance that the government has really improved on ever since 9/11.
Yeah, and I think I mean, just from my end, I think it's a reasonable thing to ask for because, since 9/11 and all that, because if you look at it in comparison to other countries, we are definitely by far the most free country out there. Like we have access to so many things and so many resources and so much more information than other countries, right? I think it's a reasonable amount of privacy to accept. Because I don't notice it in my day-to-day functioning. Like I go about my day like it's normal. I don't know. A FBI agent could be watching whatever I do, but like I said again, I just go on about my day doing whatever. But things like, let's say in China, I feel as if it's so much more monitored, so much more like you have so little privacy there. It's so censored, the material. How, I don't know, your mentality will completely change because your access to information is just limited, and your access to knowledge is limited. Your I guess access to the world is really limited. I mean, if you think about it, North Korea also is one of the most probably censored places on the planet. They don't allow any television from the outside, no news channels from the outside. They're completely brainwashing their citizens into thinking that their dictator is God, and there is no, I guess, place out there that's better. America is the enemy, right? Like that's, I'm pretty sure, what they're brainwashing their citizens to think. So, yeah, I think it's a reasonable amount of privacy that is violated to accept, in my opinion. That's just me.
So I have something here. According to VineTechnology.com, the top 5 cities with the largest surveillance camera networks. Number 3, Chicago. So in
Okay.
2005, Operation Virtual Shield, or otherwise known as OVS, a Homeland Security grid was established in Chicago that is composed of 600 miles of fiber optics stretching across the city. The feeds from these surveillance cameras and sensors are centrally monitored by the city's operations center for emergencies. The system captures and processes camera feeds in real time and is able to detect suspicious or dangerous activity and identify its location. It is estimated that there are more than 17,000 cameras in Chicago, including 4,000 installed by Chicago Police or Chicago Public Schools, and at least 1,000 at O'Hare International Airport. Okay, makes sense.
Hmm.
Chicago has the largest, most sophisticated surveillance network in the United States as of this present time. Hmm. All right. I thought I'd be in New York, but apparently it's Chicago. Well, Chicago is such a... Isn't that like the violent city? Like a very violent city? Like a
Oh
bunch of
yeah, there
crime
was a
goes down
lot
there.
of crime in Chicago. I think before and even now.
Even now,
Um,
yeah.
I
That's
don't know
where
how
Jesse
much crime
Smollett
has gone
happened.
down. What's funny? Jordan Peterson actually mentioned this in one of his talks. Crime has actually gone down in the past few decades. by half. I think it was. I think it was the last
Oh yeah,
30 years. If don't quote me there, not 100% sure, but from what
it's
I
gone down.
remember, yeah, crime has gone down by
Why do you think that is?
50%. I think economically we're sort of we're getting better off now. We are better off now. It's easier to get caught because of technology also.
That's true. Yeah,
Um,
always being surveilled. So if you're,
yeah, technology, the computer that the police officers will have are better to catch criminals. On top of that, again, like I said, economically, things have been looking better. The economy has been growing. Therefore, more goods and services are provided to the society. And just generally speaking, the living standard has gone up. And that's what happens typically when the economy grows over a longer period of time, is that your standard of living will go up. So I think that's what happened partially. And then just I don't know. I feel as if the environment is changing in a way where, you know, it's a little. I feel as if it's almost a little scarier to do it nowadays, to do like a massive crime, like to commit like a robbery.
well, that's not going to stop people who are doing massive shootings now, and I think those are more uh, common
Yeah.
nowadays. Wouldn't you
So
say?
yeah, 100%. But I would say that the shooters, they go in with the mentality of, I'm going to die anyways, you know, like I'm depressed or something like that. I need to send a
Okay,
message, right? But with
so they don't have that.
robbers and like people who
Yeah,
commit other types of crimes, I don't think they were trying to die or get caught. So I think because it's easier to
they
get
were trying to
caught
beat the system.
nowadays, huh?
They were trying to beat the system essentially, so they're trying to get away with it.
I would assume so, which I don't think they can do as easily now, right? Security is very tight nowadays, or at least more so. I would say primarily due to technology. You have fingerprint scanners now. You have camera qualities that have gone up. You have, I guess, tech that will help security officers, catch the criminals quicker, that sort of thing. But it's just
Do you
something I don't
think?
know. Yeah.
Do you think America is becoming too? What's the word I'm looking for? Um, Too much of a
Orwellian.
police. That might be it. That's a big word for me. More of a police state or a police nation. They're kind of increasing
Yeah,
their security in respect
possibly.
to.
I mean, I don't think so right now. I don't see the trend at least, but it's possible that this may occur down the road. I remember I was on this one panel once where we talked about artificial intelligence and how whether police officers should be able to
Yeah,
use artificial intelligence to catch criminals.
that's a
And
real talk right there. Yeah.
yeah, so there are so many consequences to that, and artificial intelligence will, um, you know, be able to identify people immediately based on records and everything. You will have like eye contact lenses that will be able to identify it. Your guns will be able to shoot or fire on command towards the criminals that have these, I guess charges against them or whatever. And this is AI controlling it. But now, who writes the code? Like, how do you write the algorithm that creates the AI? And once it becomes artificial intelligence, will it grow like by itself? And if it does, then do we have to input like a moral code in it so that it doesn't just, start to think so rationally, so objectively that it will wipe out anybody who has done anything even remotely dangerous or a small crime. Like, let's say a kid stole a chocolate bar from a store or something. Like,
Right.
what is he gonna
Just
be?
gonna be
AI
shot
gonna,
down. No, it's
yeah. Seriously, like,
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah,
so,
to the degree of the crime,
yeah.
the appropriate punishment for the crime. Yeah.
I think in the amendments to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, one of them was you cannot unreasonably punish people for crimes. That they have the crime, the punishment should fit the crime. So it's not. Don't make it unreasonable. If the guy stole a chocolate bar, don't throw him in prison for like 10 years. Make him do
Isn't
like
that
community service or something.
yeah, isn't that the debate with like the war on drugs? I know that
Yeah.
was a huge issue back in the day where, and I think it is still today, where if a person's caught with like some amount of marijuana or some amount of illegal drugs, they're like sentenced to prison for a long time.
I maybe
I
who
heard a lot of that.
knows.
Yeah, who knows? To
Um,
be honest, I'm not really sure on those facts.
yeah, I'm not too sure either, but I know. I think I might have mentioned this earlier in the Philippines. That the president has taken the war on drugs so far that it is legal to shoot anybody who you think has drugs or if they're doing drug dealing. So you can literally, any citizen can do it. And if they can justify, hey, I thought this guy had drugs, then they're free of charge. Nothing, you know, that's what it is.
Free of charge. Yeah. Going
Yeah.
back to the list, number two,
Yeah.
London. Surveillance
Okay.
cameras do not have to be registered in London, so there are no exact statistics.
I
A
heard about
recent
this.
sampling, yeah, a recent sampling found that 41% of public premises in London have CCTV equipment, and they estimate there is around 420,000 cameras in the city of London. The United Kingdom they began installing video surveillance cameras since the 1960s, and by August of 1996, all of major cities had cameras. Today, the UK as a whole has the largest network of surveillance cameras with an estimated 1.85 million cameras, or one camera for every 14 people.
Hmm.
Kind of scary. But why London of all places? Jeez. Is it? Are they under attack of a lot of terrorist targets? Um, London
That's a
surveillance
good
reason.
question.
I've never been, so
Um,
who knows? I mean, I would imagine they're pretty cool people, but why so many? Yeah, that's a good question. Da, da, da. I'm on Wikipedia right now. Da, da, da. Investigation Power Act 2016, Protection Freedom Act 2012, safeguards, all these programs, reforms, national databases. Oh wow, that's a lot of cameras. There's a picture of here, just like a bunch of cameras in a bank.
oh my god.
Um, yeah, I mean, to keep your people behaved, I think they
Yeah.
really adopted the idea of, well, we need more cameras. We need more people. We need more eyes on the
Yeah.
public so that they will behave. And I think China has that mentality too, where they say, well, the more eyes we have on the public, the better they'll behave and the less crime we'll have and, you know, the less problems we'll all have and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Doesn't that lead to, I mean, throughout history, doesn't that lead to a lot of revolutions or a lot of bad results? Just saying.
No, no, just the way you said that too. Yeah, I think it does, dude, because I mean, have you heard of the term I just mentioned the term earlier, Orwellian, right? It's this whole idea behind too big government where
Right.
they have this grip on society that really just it's too much control, because it's like, have you heard of the novel 1984
Yeah. Good novel.
where Big Brother is watching, and it's like, what's the subliminal message there? It's that you're being watched. It's that you're not really free, essentially. Um, but I mean, I think there is a certain level of government power that needs to be instilled and that needs to be there to protect citizens, um, such as protection of private property rights, protection of privacy, not protection of privacy, protection of your property. Because if you cannot have your property protected, then you're always going to try to protect whatever you have from being stolen, and therefore you cannot be a productive member of society. So you need to have a police force to enforce this law, and when you have that, that's essentially what it is. Like when you have that, it's how do I say this? It's properly society can function properly, is what I mean to
Okay,
say.
there's more of a balance.
Yeah, yeah, but there's a balance there. Yeah, not too much, not too little.
Okay, yeah, and I think most societies aim for that sweet spot.
Yes.
Do you think America has reached that sweet spot where, we have our freedom, we have our rights, and we have our uh, sense of freedom, but we
Yeah,
also have that sense of security as
I
well,
think so. I think so.
just in
Maybe
case?
we haven't perfected it, right? I would say because there's still crime going on and things like that, but crime has decreased, like we talked about before. We do have a very, very large degree of freedom. I can't obviously go like 100 miles an hour on the freeway without getting a ticket. Like that's where my freedom gets limited, but that's for safety reasons, right? And I think that's a reasonable thing to ask. But yeah, I think America has definitely found a very, very good balance because I think it's an absolutely reasonable society to live in. I don't think I've ever felt like, oh my God, fuck the government, man. They're like taking, so much of my privacy away or whatever. Now, obviously, historically speaking, there's been a lot of, people like Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, different presidents that have established, that have fought over to change the government, to maneuver it and into, I guess, mold and shape it into what it's become today. And that balance has been found. And it's only getting better, in my opinion. As we're encountering new problems, it's becoming easier, I think. Living has become such an easy thing nowadays, especially with the progression of technology. You don't have to really do much. Before we know it, we're gonna have self-driving cars. You don't have to do anything. Your life is going to become so easy. And I'm not talking you. I'm saying just everyone in general is going to become so easy. Technology will. You don't have to look up where you're going on the maps. You just have to type in the address and here's your GPS.
Yeah,
You gotta.
so reliable.
Yeah, your food is being cooked by, so many people. With fast food, I
What?
guess nowadays.
Oh, okay.
Well, you also have machines at home that can do a lot of certain
Right,
cooking.
yeah. Technology, right?
Coffee
Yeah.
makers and stuff. Whereas those electric, those high-end coffee makers wouldn't have existed like 50 years ago, right? Or 70 years ago, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the toaster was a real big invention. People should give it credit.
I know. Right?
I never understood. Do you ever wonder why toasters have a maximum setting of like 8 or 9, where like it pretty much like eradicates the toast?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
noticed.
It's
I don't know
become
why.
so like super crunchy and everything.
Super crunchy.
The
It
the
is.
toast.
Yeah.
Is that what
It's
you're
like
talking about?
beyond black. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It just becomes so like dark and like your teeth have to like break to break the to break the thing.
Yeah. Well, let's see. How long we gone on for? It says here for me an hour and 30 minutes or so.
It's
But
on
we
mine. It's been an hour and 52
we
because
have.
because I kept going from the first portion. Remember?
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So total, it has been almost around 2 hours. Plus my laptop's about to die, and I don't know where the charger is. So I think it
Oh,
should,
okay.
yeah, best to end the episode right now.
Sounds good. Okay. So,
Perfect.
all right, technical difficulties. Sorry, folks. We're still figuring this out.
Yep.
And thanks for listening.
Yeah. Next time we'll probably have more news to talk about, like actual news.
Better news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, cool. Bye.